Hello, good evening. It's Monday, so it's monthly make time. Evening, Noala. Evening, Tracy. No, you not got the wrong time, Noala. I was just running a little bit late, and then I forgot to cut my card. Literally, I got everything sorted, and it's like I've not cut my card, so I just had to quickly run and grab a piece of card and cut it down, basically. So tonight we are going to be using our monthly make set, which is the wonderful dragonfly. I couldn't find my set of dragonfly, so I've grabbed a new one. I know, naughty. My desk is a mess from the other day, and we're going to be using the polyplate. And I've got a little bit inspired because Bear has been creating a lovely quilt for his teacher, and I've got a bit of an idea, a bit like Wednesday nights, but using our polyplate. And we're going to add lovely textures to it. So I have nicked some textures as well out of my texture box. I'm just putting my polyplate back down because it's got massive bubbles in it, which I didn't realise last week. I don't want bubbles behind it. That's a bit better. Not perfect, but it'll do. So yeah, I'm going to be playing with our lovely big polyplate as well. So, see, I'm always running behind, aren't I? So we will get going. I've not put my comments up on my screen where I can see them when I'm crafting, so bear with 1 second. There we go, I can see them all now. Thank you very much. So I can pop that down there. No, I can't because it's gone big. Anyway, I'll stop faffing. There we go. I'll stop faffing and we will get crafting. Right, it's all sorted now. I can see everything where I need it. So there we go. I will press the right button. That didn't sound good, whatever I just rolled over. But it'll be fine. It will be in a second. Sorry, I am faffing, aren't I? I do apologise. It's been one of them days. I got carried away doing some stuff on the website, and then I never actually made the time back up, if you know what I mean. Evening, Mum. It is a very lovely evening here. Tracy thinks we've got a roux triangle where everything disappears. It does. It just, time included, disappears into that roux triangle. I tell you, it's the last. Well, it's Rosie's last day on, well, Thursday lunchtime, and so she's been doing last minute. That's not good. We've not got much water. She's been doing last minute teacher gifts. Well, not last minute. She's been working on them for a while, but they've all come to her head today. So she wants to take them in tomorrow because it's the last time she has those teachers this week. And obviously Bear's on his mega quilts. He's got to make his quilt for his teacher, which is a lovely idea. It's just a lot of work. But he's done amazing. I've still got fingers, look. I've still got all my fingers. They've not been attacked by the sewing machine yet. I nearly lost a nail the other day, but that's as close as he's got. But he's doing really, really well with it. So I can't complain. He is doing it though, that's the main thing. And he's having fun, I hope. Well, he says he is. I think that's him just aiming the sewing machine at my fingers. Anyway, should we get crafting? I have actually picked out some colours, so I have been a little bit organised tonight. I've got picked raspberry and peacock feathers in my distress inks, and then I've got a load of distress oxides, because when we're doing kissing techniques or stamping onto our polyplates, it's easier to do it with your oxides because they just stick on there better, and then obviously you get a better transfer from them. So I've got a lot of oxides, so I've got picked raspberry and peacock feathers, because you can see where I'm going with that, and then I've got blueprint sketch and I've got wilted violet as well. But first of all, we need to get some colour on these polyplates. So I'm going to start, I want pink and blue basically. I'm going to start with my pink one. And I know normally I would be applying my ink using my ink pad, but tonight, can you see? I don't know if you can quite see. I want to get more texture, so I am adding it using a tissue. You could use a brayer, you could use, well, anything. just to get bits of texture. You can see I'm doing like little squirrely shapes as we go. Oh, there's an angry doggy there. So I just want that lovely swirls and waves and things like that. So we're just playing basically. We're just getting our ink on here and playing. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to pop that down. I'm then going to grab a couple of my stamps that I've picked out for tonight. So I've got our lovely little rivets. I want some little dots. Well, rivets even. There we go. I'm going to grab my peacock feathers in my oxide. So ink, and I'm going to use my oxide on here. Ink it up. I'm not worrying about getting everything perfectly inked or perfectly stamped because I just want texture. So I'm just going to add, except for I do want a bit more ink on it than that. Can you see? I'm going to go straight on. If I kind of, well, it needs to go straight down because it will slip. You've got two slippy surfaces and you just want to make sure you get down. Can you see I've got some of my pink on here, so if I put that on there, that's going to have pink in it. Don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop another one of these on, pop it there, make sure you go straight down and straight up, just do a little bit of a kiss in, and I think I'm just going to go with that, to be honest. So I'm going to start this. Oh, I don't want to lose that, do I? I'm going to start this anywhere. I'm trying to make sure. If I use my noodle, I'd be dangerous today, wouldn't I? Look, I'm going to line that up. I've got a lovely straight edge that I'm not using. How silly I am now. I missed some of my blobs off, but that's okay too. So I'm just going to press this on here. If you want to make sure, slide it off your desk. And just give it a rub on the back. And lift him off. The whole time I've just made sure I've got something, some pressure on that so it doesn't move. I'm then going to give this a quick wipe. So let's put my lid back on here. Oops. And I want to do some blue ones. Let me just give that a quick spritz. I'm going to keep a pink tissue and a blue tissue just to be like organised. So I'm going to grab my peacock feathers this time. I'm going to make sure I ink those lovely. Oh, I was going to do it with the tissue, wasn't I? Well, you could use bubble wrap, you could use all sorts. I'm trying to think if I've got any bubble wrap anywhere near. You could use lace, you could use anything to get your ink on here. But I want, can you see how we've got all those lovely textures in the background? That is what I'm going for. So again, and if you add your ink with your braille, you get a different effect. You could do, let me see if I can get it over this white paper because I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'll pop it on here. There you go. So I'm going to give it a swish and a swirl, a bit of a dab. There we go. Let's put that lid back on, and then I'm going to go with my picked raspberry on this one. I'm going to grab that one. I think I might stick with my circle with my little rivets. Ooh. Guess I haven't put my lid on properly. Yeah, lots of banging outside. So again, I'm just going to pop that straight down and lift up. You can't see it. I will get a tissue or something to put underneath. I'm going to wipe that off and then we're going to do a couple more. Just like that, and then move it around. Oops. Try not to ink your fingers. And then this one, we're going to come around this side. Let's make it easy for me. I'm going to pop this one coming down here like so. I don't want it to touch, I want a bit of a gap. And again, if you're not sure whether it's transferred, just slide it off your table, flip it over, give it a little press from behind. Just be careful though that you don't press too hard and get the edge where I'd left a load of inky bits. There we go. And then we're going to go again. I'm trying to see what colours I've got on there. Should be alright. Keeping my blue going. So I think we're going to do squiggles. I did say I'd get a tissue to put me stamping my doodad down on. Oh, that's just reminded me. Poly mounts. I know a few of you have been asking if we've got any poly mounts. We have a few on the website. So if you've been waiting for them, there is literally a handful. I remember to see how many we have in stock. There's literally a handful on the website. So can you see I've just put squiggles on this one, and then I'm not sure I want that one again. I think I'm going to grab, I've got my lovely big circle, and I don't think I want my pink either, so I think I'm going to go to Wilted Violet this time. So you can see I'm just changing it up, just adding bits. Oops, I put my finger right on top of it then, that's not a good idea. And as always, when you're stamping, make sure you swizz it round and make it easy to stamp, especially doing this, because the last thing you want to do is make it difficult to stamp. I'm actually really liking that, so I'm going to just clean this stamp off and ink him up again. To do another one here. And there we go. Pop that there. And then this one. I'm going to twist this one round, and we're going to have, I'm going to have a lot more of this one showing because I really do like this one. I'm just going to pop this down here. Ooh, lid underneath. I'm like Calamity Jane, aren't I? Give it a good press. Should have probably done another purple one there, but that's okay. Just realised we're going to end up. There you go, look at that one. You can see all the little swooshes we've done with our tissue behind, and we've got our lovely little bits. Right, we're going to go back to our pink for a minute. Give my plate a quick tidy up. There we go. Here I have my pink tissue. I'm just going to build it up again. Actually, no, I'm going to use our brayer for this one because I keep saying we get different effects, don't we? There we go. Make sure my lid's on. And I'm not inking up all of my brayer, if you've noticed, so we're going to get very patchy. As Mr. Roo would say, my style of painting, because I'm rubbish at painting walls with a roller. Give me a brush, I can paint them. Give me a roller and it ends up more like streaky, just like that. Unless you give me like the little diddy rollers, but then that takes a long time to do a wall. Can't be good at everything, can we? Right, stop. I'm gonna leave my brayer just there, and then we're going to start adding small bits. So this time I think I'm going to go to my blueprint sketch actually, and I don't want to use my arrows because I've got an idea for them over the top. So I know I'm being really naughty, aren't I, leaving ink out. You just know that it's going to end badly. Leaving ink out on my worktop. Ooh, but that would look good. Oh, I found some more rivets. But Harlequin. Oops. Will look good. Evening, Susie. I know, I'm being really naughty at leaving ink. Just I'm going to end up with it up my arms and all sorts. Actually, if I roll my sleeves up, I won't be too bad, will I? Use a different stamp base for this one. So this one is going to come down this side, isn't it? So I think I'm going to put lots and lots on this side, yeah? Ooh. Make sure you pop it down. I'm going to clean this every time. Pop it down. I have, that pink is actually quite wet underneath, so probably not going to be as crisp as I would like it to be. No, it's definitely not. It's gone too wet because I kept piling on my ink. But I'm quite liking it, so we'll see where we go with this one. We might go back over it in a minute. Put that down there. I know I am making a right mess, aren't I? And I'm just going to do a tiddly bit of this one, I think. I don't like it where they're all... Oh no, we'll do the whole thing. Yeah, can you see? Didn't stamp that very well at all. It did down this end where I hadn't put lots and lots of ink. Up at the top end, not so much. I'm just going to turn that over and just give myself a little bit more of a chance of picking up some of that. Not as impressed with it as I was hoping. That's okay. It's our background, isn't it? And I know I'm getting really carried away with our patchwork at the moment, but it's all we've talked about in our house this weekend. So this is to go here, so I don't really need much at all. What we might even do is just grab, where's my peacock feathers gone? It's probably in that triangle. I'm gonna grab another piece of tissue. I know I've got lots of pieces of tissue on the way. I just want to add a few little dots. I think I've done that the wrong side, haven't I? I always get confused when it comes to turning these things. And then I did really like this one, so we're just going to grab that one. Oops. Come on. Oh, you're not going to see it. Tell you what, you will if I do that, won't you? So I've overlapped my dots. I wasn't going to. But I have. Gotta get that one. There we go. So, we've got one more pink one to do, haven't we? Let me pick raspberry. There it is. Yeah, one more pink one to do. So, what can we do this time? Just going to ink up again. I get a piece of white to show you what I'm popping on, and then I don't show you. Again, I don't need much on this one, do I? So I've gone with very gentle little taps on this one. And then I'm going to go back to our lovely Harlequin, because it does work, it's just I was a bit too heavy-handed with it before. So, done our peacock feathers, I'll do my blueprint sketch again. Just because my base layer was too wet, which is why it didn't quite come out properly, so we'll do it properly this time. Okay, nice little press. There we go. Again, we don't need much, so I'm going to overlap my dots. Not sure what that was, but we don't want it. Isn't it strange I can only stamp one way with this polyplate? Boom. Give it a good little press. Dook, dook, dook. I promise next week I'll be off quilting patterns. I'm liking how that's turning out. You can tell sometimes I've got an idea in my head that just ain't going. Little lady made a pencil case as well. And Spares decided that his teacher's having obviously the quilt, and then he wanted to make some pencil cases as well for his lovely TAs. I was like, oh, okay. Not quite sure when he thinks he's going to get it all done. Has he got a right list going on? I think it's just because he's enjoying using the sewing machine. Right, last couple. So we want our peacock feathers. Lid on there, or else I'm going to get a blue arm. I'll be a Smurf. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Smurf, but you know. See this one? We're going to go gentle, I think. And then we're going to use those circles. No, we're not. We're going to stick with... I know, I change my mind all the time, don't I? Where's our wilted violet? Hello, there it is. Okay. Would help if I actually put a little bit on my tissue. And we are going to grab another one of them. So remember, it's all back to front, yeah? So I've got one going that way. I want it to come down here, so it needs to go up at the top, doesn't it? And that made sense in my head. Not everything makes sense, but that bit did. And I know I've gone well over what I need, but it's better to have it and not use it, isn't it? So when I come back down, see, I got it right. I am chuffed with myself for that. It's the small things. There we go. I am being naughty as well and stamping on top of the tissue. You can start to see our background. All those lovely little kiss effects on there. I'm just going to clean this one up. Oops. Lid back on. And then we'll move on to something else. So, blue one again. There we go. Just a few little squiggles. And we're going to go back to our picked raspberry. And we're going to go back to our rivets because they're there. And I'm going to be trying to be clever. Look, I've got half a rivet there. I don't know if you can quite see. Yeah, just there. So it'll be up here, won't it? I'm going to even it up again. I don't know, I don't need much of it, but got all sorts of mess on here now. Stop, stop, stop. Thank you. Oh, I've not quite done enough. Whoopsie. It's okay. Nobody will know. Give it a good rub. There we go. So we've got a bit of a background going on. Using our poly plate and some texture stamps. I know they aren't in your monthly mate, but I'm sure you'll have a few texture stamps somewhere. Or if not, you know, you can use your bubble wraps and things like that. So I'm going to put my poly plate to one side, or up there. I'm going to get rid of some of these tissues because they're just everywhere. And then I'm just going to give my brayer a really quick wipe as well, because otherwise next time I come to use it I'll be wondering why it's spraying everything pink. And I've just dripped it all down my top as well. I did wonder why Mr. Root asked, are you not changing your top before you go out? No, it'll be fine. And I've got a pale grey t-shirt on. He knows me better than I do. Right, one clean brayer, well, cleanish brayer, and we've got the background. So next, where do we want to go with this now? I want some dragonflies. Not sure if we're going to go that way or that way yet. Not decided, but I do know I want my dragonflies. So let's start on them next, shall we? Let me pop them over on that one. And I'm going to grab our dragonfly. So I think I'm going to do a couple of little ones. Let me grab some scrap. What am I doing? I want black ink. I was thinking about something else then, obviously. So, I want my little dragonfly. So I think we're going to do, what do you reckon? 3 little ones, 1 big one. think that'll look quite good, won't it? Not that I'm going to get a big one on here. 1, 2. Oh, that would work, wouldn't it? One on each line. No, that biggish one. Ooh, I've just had an idea. Might need that poly plate back. Yeah, might need that poly plate back. We will see. We will see. I've lost my stamps. I've literally just put them down. You know, some days I shouldn't be allowed out, should I? Yeah, that's not going to fit on there, is it? Oh. There we go. Take that one off. And I'll grab the big one. They're going to look really pretty on there, aren't they? And then I need, will we fit on that bit of scrap? Oh, look at that. It's like it was meant to be. Make sure I ink this up super well. I'm going to pop these here. Now, these guys I want really bright. So they're going to be like green and yellow. We might even get a little bit of mica going on these as well. That'd look cool, wouldn't it? Yellow wings with a little bit of gold mica in it. Oh, it would do if I stamped it properly. Let's think that up again. Well, I did stamp it properly, I just didn't. Give it enough ink. Right. Second time's a charm. That's why you've got two pieces, isn't it? With two sides to every piece. I can't press. There we go. That's better. Let me put my dragonfly back before we lose him again, because he does like to go and fly away. So we'll pop him back on here. It's all safe and sound now. And then move them stamping blocks out of the way. We're going to adjust. There we go. Right, I'm going to go on my yellow and my green, and teeny tiny bit of sprinklet, or in this case I'm using the mica gold sprinklet, and some green for my bodies. Oops. I'm going to go straight on with my colour. I do want these to stand out a little bit. we go. Thought that was thunder again. We had this morning, it was like the sun was out. It was like, I thought, oh, I'm thinking about getting my washing out here. And then all of a sudden the sky went grey and there was this clap of thunder, and it was almost like it was right on top of us. And then the heavens just opened. It was like, oh, just really, really bad. And about 10 minutes later it was beautiful sunshine again. I thought, still didn't chance me washing though. One of these days I'll get me washing out. So I'm going to do a bit of shading on this one, only because we can. And because he's bigger as well, you're going to notice it. Whereas these guys, you're not really going to notice if I shaded it or not. Whereas this guy, absolutely you will. Little ones, not so much. And luckily it stayed dry. It rained just before the end of school and Bear had football after school. And he said he did manage to stay dry. Because he never puts his coat on to play football. I mean, it's not in his football bag, so why would he put it on? The fact it's in his school bag that he's got with him. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? In winter I do put an extra coat in his football bag to make sure he puts a coat on. But I didn't think it was going to rain like it did. And it didn't actually rain for football tonight. So. And he got his little reward again. Because the others have started arguing, but he doesn't argue. Because if he doesn't argue, he gets a certificate. He got his award for not arguing with the others. Right, all I'm going to do on here, because we've got our 3 different lines, haven't we? I'm just going to colour in one of them. And then we'll come and grab our mica once we've got our colour on here. And that one goes to the outside. Just need to be careful, because even though I dried this, it's VersaFine Clear. And you know it takes a little bit extra to dry. So it's just picking up my ink. My pen. I'm going to do the smaller one on this one, I think. That wasn't thunder, that's someone moving his bins. There we go, nearly there. I always say that when I'm colouring, it takes me forever, doesn't it? I'm not the fastest colourer. Because I'm not very patient, I think. Give me my inks any day and I'll have a play. colouring in, you've got to be that little bit more careful, haven't you? Right, so we've got that coloured. Right, I'm going to grab. You're all very quiet tonight. It's just me gabbing away, isn't it? I'm just going to grab my sprinkler. I've got my gold one. A tiny amount of water because I want my leaves, my wings. My wings want to sparkle a little bit. Oh, not that. Too much water there. That's better. Literally, I'm just adding enough to make it move so it's not lumpy. And then we're just going to go back over where I've just coloured in. Just going to add a little bit more towards the base here. You don't want the lumpy stuff, you want it so it's worked in nicely. Otherwise, when you put the lumpy, put it on and it's lumpy, you just get big blobs of it on there and it doesn't dry properly. Whereas if you add a little bit more water, Tracy's cooking. I don't know what you're having. I haven't decided what I'm having yet. There we go. So I don't know whether you'll quite see it, but I know it's there, and as it dries it does stand out a little bit more. I'm just going to take that off. The only downside is once it's in your brush, it does take a bit to get out of your brush, because obviously it's mica. Just keep washing your brush a bit, and eventually it'll come out. Right. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, you can see on this one. You can see that lovely bit of mica on there. Oh, steaks and salad. Oh, and a bit of mash as well. Why not? There you go. Lovely and sparkly. So I'm just going to leave them to dry because I was going to basically draw some lines on here, stamp some other textures over the top and then put those little bits on. However, I think I want another, I know, I've got the I want another poly plate, and I want quite a subtle poly plate. And you're going, but you're not going to fit it on there. I know. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper and my poly plate. There he is. I knew I ain't putting him away for a reason. Not that I ever put anything away, you know what I'm like. So my two colours were peacock feathers and pickled raspberry. So I'm going to grab one. And I'm going to ink up. If I put it on top of my white, you can see what I'm going to do. So, ooh, my thumb locked up on me there. We're going to have blue on one side because it's going to bring all those lovely colours that we've used in the background together. We're going to turn it around. We're going to get our pink, and I know this was done with inks. We're going onto our oxides for this bit because I want it a bit more subtle. We're going to grab our pink. And we're going to do a little bit of pink. Again, if you picked it up on your tissue, it would help. So every time I put it back on my plate, I'm making sure, my ink pad, I'm making sure I'm not, this bit, nope. I want the bit that's got the pink. I should have done it the other way around, but I was too eager. I was eager, I tell you. it's not quite inking up as much as I would like. Come on, give me some ink. Better. So again, I just did a quick check that I wasn't going to get any blue on my poly plate, which I wasn't, on my ink pad, and I wasn't. And now I'm going to grab, it's always the same colours with me, isn't it? I'm going to grab my wilted violet, and we're going to have a couple of our little swirls as circles. We will do once I've got rid of the tissue off it from cleaning it. Just think him up. We're going to have 1 dunk, 2 dunk, and an inky pinky on the way. Going to give that a quick wipe, and then we're going to get another one. And 3 dunk. I know, sound effects. I'm going to plop this one on here. And we're going to cut this one out so it don't really matter where I stamp this. I'm going to slide this one off my table. Don't turn him over. Just going to rub from the back. And then lift. Whee! Look at that one. And then we had that really dark blue, didn't we? So I need to wash this off. Well, actually, if I use my tissue, I don't need to wash it off. I lied. It's taken the majority of the colours off it, to be fair. I should have done this before I stamped it, but hey ho. You'll find out how good my layering skills are right now. Oh, lining up skills. So I'm just going to add a little bit around the edge. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Get a little bit on our knobbly bobblies at the bottom. And all up this side as well. There we go. And using the tissue to put it on, it just feathers it a little bit more gentle than if you take your ink pad direct to it. A little bit more subtle. I'm going to pop this back down. I know I'm being really risky here. And there you go, there or thereabouts will do. So I'm not pressing in the middle because, well, I've already transferred that stuff once. Now just the edge I'm bothered about. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Take that off. Yay, look at that. Woohoo. Wipe my plates. There we go. Right, I am done. Done this time with my poly plate. So all I'm going to do now is not start over on that side because you could see I was going to go and get, whoopsie. And because I'm really bad at drawing lines, I'm going to do a double one and make, there we go. There we go. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I am actually, because I'm going to do an ink and a dupe, and then I think my poly plate is just a bit too no. If I put that on there, it means I can't put my dragonfly over the top, and I think my dragonfly will look pretty cool over the top of that. So I'm not going to put my writing on there. I'll put them in my gaps like I was going to. So scissors, scissors, scissors. There we go. You see, all these things go through my noodle. It's quite scary. And again, because I've done, can you see my line is not the straightest? Ooh, neither is that cutting. Doesn't have to be perfect. And what I will do as well is probably put this onto a piece of black or blue. Blue could look quite nice, couldn't it? Or gold. Ooh. And then round our bobbly bits. I'm going to ignore that one because I didn't quite ink it up properly, so we're redesigning as we go because I didn't quite ink. There's no point cutting it out if there's no ink there to cut it out. Oh, and I've just chopped another one off. It's alright. No, didn't mean to. Now if it had been Mum's, it would have been absolutely perfectly cut out. Mine's just kind of there or thereabouts. There you go. So that is going to sit over there. It does need a little something behind it, whether it's pink or blue. I don't know. Let me just have a quick root. Ooh. Or purple. We'll have a bit of purple. Yeah, I'm going to have to find out what that is. I keep rolling over. So we're going to pop this on here. See if my glue wants to come out. Still got all my brush out from the other day. Ooh. Let's stick that on there. There we go. Yep, definitely needed something, didn't it? I knew as soon as I put it down, it's like, no, it's not right. Which then means it'll look lovely if I did the whole thing with purple behind it as well. Which I'm sure I must have another piece. If I've got one piece that's got a bit cut off it, I must have another piece of it somewhere. I should have really cut this out a little bit neater. So please don't look at my cutting out skills. But drawing it as a doodle line, it does, you know, let you get away with it a little bit. Oops, just trimmed a bit too much off the top. You can see now it's popping, isn't it? Very subtle, but it is popping. So whilst I've got my scissors out, I can't tell if it's dry or not. And if it's not, we're going to leave it a few more minutes. I could just get my heat gun on it, but you know, we've got other things we can be doing, haven't we? So I'm going to grab my, I'll always be here for you. Oops. Thought I just heard the ice cream man as well. It's about that time, isn't it? It's ice cream man time. So I'm going to pop these across these lines in our gaps. Just like little strips. And I will ink it all properly. We could have put these onto a white piece of paper and then popped a bit of purple behind it. That would have looked quite good too. I'm going for flat on here. And all the little gaps we're going to have a little bit of. I'll always be here for you. I've not actually wiped this with a heat gun, so I'm hoping it's dry. Should be by now. I'm not the best lined up. Let's turn it around and make me do it a bit better. I'm just going to pop a little bit on the end here. We're going to have a bit of an aisle there because it's just bugging me. There's a big white gap. There we go. Made a bit of a repeat pattern there, haven't we? And we'll grab our doodle pen again because we've doodled once, we might as well doodle again. So, all starting to come together now. So let's grab our little doodle. Oh, we're just going to go. There we go. I'll have a bit of scribblage because, well, I do like my scribblage. And we're going to have him coming down. And we're going to do that inside actually. Just like that. We're going to quickly give these a blast with the heat gun because otherwise we'll be waiting forever, won't we? To be able to cut them out. It's getting there, isn't it? Do love this one though. Out of all of them, that is my favourite one. And that one, I think it's the circles, isn't it? Yeah. That one's quite cool as well. I like that one though, where the ink and the oxide have repelled each other. I like them all. I can't. I should never try and find favourites, should I? It never works. Right. I'm going to start off with the big one and then we'll decide how many of our little ones. So on this one I've got little antennae. Oh no, before we even do that. Rude. White pen. We need a white pen. I've got my dots on, so they need a few little white dots on them. Would be quite cool to get me glossy accents on here as well. Just got to be careful where you're going over your maker. It does feel a bit grainy. There we go. Here's my big one done. Looks like he's got a big hairy back, doesn't he? way I did my doodads, my little dots. That's my own fault, because I went and argued with... I've got a big pile of mica there. There we go. And I started arguing with them. I shouldn't have done. I should have just ignored it. Because I could feel the pen not wanting to glide. There we go. Right, put that back over there. So let's start off with the big one. There we go. The tricky bit's done. The rest of it should be quite easy now. She says, jinxing herself. Oops, I missed some white dots there. So before I forget as well, it is craft along this week, and I know I've not given a kit list out. I will do it. It'll be tomorrow. It'll be posted out because I forgot to do it today. It is notebooks. So basically, spiral bound notebook, not a spiral bound, a wire bound notebook. We will be just playing with and turning into something lovely. You've all seen me do that lots and lots in the past, but I think it's always a good one to go back to just as a reminder. It's a really quick and simple gift idea. So that's what we'll be doing on Saturday. I think I've got 2 helpers again, which always makes the time fly. Ooh. Tracy says that's handy, she's starting a new journal. Well, there you go. Now you can decorate the front of it as well. Gives you an excuse to craft along. I'm going to do a soft cover, not a hard cover one. That's what I could get. So it's literally going to be whatever stamps you fancy, and something that's wire bound, not spiral bound, wire bound. Could be a notebook, it could be a journal, it could be one you've made from scratch and you're going to use like your cinch or your what's the new one that's just come out? Well, it's not a new one, it's a new old one. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Like a zip it or something, can't remember the name of it. Where you put your own papers in, basically. Make your own scrapbook up Not scrapbook journal. You know what I mean. I was that concerned with bed trying to take my fingers off with me with the sewing machine this week that I should have really been looking what I was doing and not taking them off. There we go. I'm going to do the 3. It's looking different, isn't it? I do think it'll look amazing though with a purple border to match this one. I have to trim myself down a piece of purple. But I never know, because I don't plan what we're going to do, we just kind of wing it and see what happens. I know, I am naughty, but I don't like over planning things. Because then if a good idea pops into your head, you're stuck, aren't you? I don't like being stuck. I like to just go with it and see where we end up. And if it ends up a mess, then it ends up a mess. And you guys know not to do it. But if it works out, then bonus. There we go, and I am loving the little bits of mica. I've popped on these little dragonflies. You know, that's a bit too far over, but you get the idea. Yeah, I'm liking that though. I'm not sure if I want to do anything else on it. What I am going to do, I'm going to play now. Sorry. A mess never happens. It does happen. It happens more than I'll let on. There are lots of moments when I sit here going, don't like this, it's not working. Yeah, where's the undo button? And unfortunately when you're crafting, very rarely is there an undo button. That looks better, doesn't it? Woohoo. I'm not going to do all of it, I'm just going to do... Be cool though if there was an undo button on crafting, wouldn't there? But yeah, those two colours didn't quite go together. My little knobbly bits weren't quite sticking out, but just a little bit of black on them. Oh, the ice cream man's getting around tonight. He's now on the one behind us now. Don't normally hear him. You just normally hear him the once and then he shoots off across the road and off that way. I can hear him tonight. I am preferring that with a little bit of black at the bottom. It is just adding. It is a process, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And all those times it doesn't work, you do realise that, you know, no harm, is there? You've had a bit of a giggle at yourself because, well, it definitely didn't work. Or you've got something that you want to try again because in theory it should work. They're the ones that get me, the ones that you're like, well, that should have worked. See, that looks a whole lot better. I don't know if you can quite see it. But look, a little bit of black on it. Yes, absolutely. I'm happy with that now. You see, in my head, I wasn't going to put those words across it. I was going to doodle the lines, but actually I really like it because I couldn't realise where I was going to put my sentiment. And in my head now, I'm going, oh, does it need a sentiment? Does it not? I don't think it does. So I'm quite happy with that. I think I am. Obviously it needs backing and it needs to go on a piece of paper, on a proper card. But actually, it has worked. So, need to blow my nose, sorry. Oh, my hay fever again has just kicked off these last couple of days again. Don't know why. Bear's the same. Woke up this morning, both of us streaming eyes. It's not good. Anyway, So that is it from me tonight. We're back on Wednesday. I'm not sure what we're doing. As always, it'll just be whatever happens, as we saw tonight. Back on Wednesday, and then there was something else I had to tell you. Yeah, craft along Saturday, 10:30 on Saturday for our craft along. Oh, there was something I meant to tell you as well. August monthly make. I know it only seems like yesterday we started with our July one, but it is going to be sent out early. So if you are wanting to get your hands on the August one, which is pretty cool, I always say that though, don't I? If you're wanting to get your hands on the August one, you need to have signed up before the 26th of July. I'm getting all my months confused because I'm working on September's at the moment. Whew. Which won't be sent out early, will be sent out on time, that one. But yeah, August monthly make will be being sent out on the 26th of July. So if you are wanting your July's box, you need to have ordered it before the 26th. So there you go. And there's something else. Oh, I'm sure I've reminded you of this before. If you're after one of the big poly mounts, one of these guys, the big 7-inch ones, there are a handful on our website at the moment. So there you go, handful. I am meaning like literally a handful of these on there, because I know a few of you have been asking, because you kind of need a big one for your poly plate. So there you go, they are on our website at the moment, along with the other stamp bases we've still got in stock. So there you go. I think that's everything. I'm sure there'll be something else that just pops into my head randomly later on tonight that I forgot to tell you. But yeah, back Wednesday at 8:30, craft along on Saturday. I will send out the details for that tomorrow. So thank you for joining me tonight. I've had loads of fun with that, and I'm loving that colour palette, and I really love, I know I'm taking my card apart, but I really love that bit. I'm really chuffed with that little piece. I'll put it all back together now. So thank you for joining me. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you on Wednesday at 8:30. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.